What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my top 5 underrated products. I have a whole list of products I want to talk about, but just to keep it short and just to kind of keep you wanting more, I only picked 5. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I have is a Milani Make It Last Setting Powder in the shade Radiant, number 4. I've seriously heard 0 people talk about this, which is crazy because it's such a cool product and it's so unique for the drugstore. So you could use this for numerous things. You could use it as a setting powder if you have dry skin, or if you just want more of a glowy complexion, if you don't like to be too matte. Basically, this is a straight up sheen powder. So it's not going to be mattifying or anything. This will make you extremely glowy. So if you have oily skin, stay away from it. But this reminds me a lot of the product that Jaclyn Hill uses to set her face. She's used it in several videos. I believe it's called the Lancome Absolute Powder, and it's basically just a shimmery setting powder. And she uses it with a wet sponge and just kind of presses it into her skin, and it makes her skin super glowy. So the only kicker to this one is that there's only one tone. There's only one shade in it. They also have just the regular translucent Make It Last setting powder, and I think they have maybe one other shade. I don't really know what it is, but this is kind of like a beigey, just a neutral beigey kind of color. It has a little bit of a champagne aspect to it, but here's what it looks like when you swatch it. Now, I will say it can look kind of white. Like if I use it as a setting powder and, you know, really pack it on and stamp it on, it can look a little white in some areas. So I'm gonna use a really like loosely packed brush like this. There's like no density to it whatsoever. I'm just gonna put, see how when you first lay it down, it looks kind of ashy right there, but it makes your skin extremely glowy, and it can make you look oily if you have any little ounce of oil, especially like in your T-zone. So especially in the winter time, or if you're someone that likes a glowy complexion, even if you are oily, this is a very, very pretty product, and it's very unique. It's just not gonna be for every skin tone. That's the only kicker to it. So next up is the Body Shop's Mint Mattifying Face Mist. This was actually recommended to me by a friend who works at MAC, and I was telling her how I love the MAC Fix Plus Matte Setting Spray. Whenever I get oily or sweaty throughout the day, or like when I feel my sweat building up under my makeup, I'll go and I'll spray the MAC Setting Spray, and it just makes my skin look so velvety soft, and it mattifies the perfect amount. It's not too mattifying, like, to where it looks masky and just emphasizing the pores. It does the perfect amount. And she was saying that she thinks that this one is better. So this is like $5 or $10 at Ulta. This stuff is very mattifying to the best degree, and it does feel very cooling. That mint makes it feel so refreshing and so cooling, and I haven't tried any product like this before. So I just spray a very little amount just in my T-zone, and if I'm not going to use a lot of powder, I'll spray it back here too. I would highly recommend this stuff if you just like to be a little bit more matte, or if you just want to get rid of any kind of oiliness or like sweatiness throughout the day. You need it. Next thing I have is a Dermablend Flawless Creator Foundation. That's kind of hard to say. So I just have a little tester size of this, but here's what it looks like when you actually get it in the full size bottle. This has become one of my favorite foundations. It's so full coverage right off the bat, but it's super lightweight. It feels lightweight, it looks lightweight, but it just smooths on and blends out like butter. And I've said that about a few things before, but with this, it's taken it to a whole new level and just redefined what it means to blend out like butter. It never looks cakey or thick or heavy on my skin. Now, I will say this does make me a tad bit shiny throughout the day, but I feel like it's towards the very end of the day. But the fact that it's such a beautiful coverage and it just blends out so nicely and just looks so good on the skin, I can get past it. Which, if there's a flaw, I'm the first one to point it out, but the fact that I can look past that flaw says a lot about this foundation. There's not a big shade selection. That's another kicker with it. But if you can find your shade in this and you like full coverage, definitely try it out. It's one of the best I've ever tried. And I'm a drugstore foundation girl. I just want to point that out. Next thing I have is a NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. So these are fairly new. So this is the shade Los Angeles. This is the only shade I have, but I do plan on getting more. These are only like $3 at Ulta, but this is a very, very good formula. And I do feel like this is better than the original Slim Lip Pencils from NYX. And usually I don't like this kind of wooden, like sharpening lip pencil. I just feel like they're too dry and they tug and pull, and they're just not very creamy. Like I like the ones that you sharpen that are really creamy, or if they're retractable, and that just glide on. And the Slim Lip Pencils just don't do that for me, but this one is a lot smoother and a lot more creamy. So there's what that shade looks like. And for the price, you cannot beat it. They have tons of shades. This looks really, really pretty with any kind of nude or mauve lip, or even pink or like berry tones. And this looks really, really good with a really pale nude lip. I just feel like it defines and contours a lip perfectly. So I did that really fun thing where I accidentally delete files and have to go back in and refilm stuff because I just don't seem to learn my lesson. So yeah, here is future me coming at you with the very last product to talk about in this video. It could have been worse. I could have lost a lot more, so I'm not complaining too much. But the last product I have is the CoverGirl Ultrafine Brow Pencil in the shade Honey Brown. So this is just like the Anastasia Brow Wiz, the exact same concept. It's just a really precise micro tip. This thing is amazing, and I do have the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which I'm also very much obsessed with right now, but this works just as well, if not better, and the color is perfect. I've never gone for anything that says honey or brown. Like, I'm always blonde or taupe. I've never strayed away from that. Usually it's just way too dark for me. But this color is absolutely perfect for my brow hair color, like my natural color. And it even looks better than like taupey shades, because I actually find that taupe looks a little bit too harsh on me now. So this is just the perfect kind of formula. It's not overly pigmented and it's not super dry or anything. It just gives you the most natural effect possible. It's super easy and it's pigmented enough to where it doesn't take a long time to fill it in. So yeah, hopefully this gets some momentum and gains more popularity, because this thing is amazing. It made a believer out of me. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed it and want to see more underrated products, and subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Mwah.